Whittward Carver and the Quantum Tea Party. Alright, listen up, you bunch of oddballs. Let me spin you a tale about a chap named Emmett Quark, a professor who's got quantum mechanics bent over a barrel. This bloke's so brainy, he makes Stephen Hawking look like a toddler, trying to solve a jigsaw puzzle. So our pal Emmett, he's got this tiny little problem. See, he's been fiddling with the space-time continuum like it's a Rubik's Cube, and now he's mastered the vanishing act. Only, he ain't doing it on purpose. One moment he's in his lab, the next he's in the blasted Sahara. It's like the universe is playing a bloody game of peekaboo. Now, the Quantum Regulatory Agency, they're like the party poopers of the science world. They've caught a whiff of Emmett's little disappearing act, and they're not chuffed. They're on his heels like a bad penny, ready to pounce the second he messes up the timeline. One day, after another one of his wonky experiments, Emmett pops up right in front of the Intergalactic Tea Society. Now, these folks, they're a bunch of eccentrics led by Harold, a chap who's nutty about tea and aliens. There's Mabel, who's got a wardrobe that'd make a rainbow look dull. Bert, who's cuddling a rock like it's his long-lost sweetheart. And Timmy, who's face first in a plate of jam tarts. Harold, he looks at Emmett, then at his tea and goes, "Blimey, I must have brewed this batch stronger than I thought. It's not every day you see a bloke materialise out of thin air." Mabel's all excited, thinking Emmett's an alien. Bert's fretting about his rock, like it's going to get jealous or something. And Timmy, well, Timmy's just chuffed there's more cake to go around. Emmett, bless him, he's looking around like he's just landed in a madhouse. Which, let's be honest, he has. But he's a good sport, so he sits down and accepts a cup of Harold's rocket fuel and a slice of banana cake. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Emmett takes a sip of the tea, nibbles on the cake, and then, poof, he's off again. Harold's looking at his tea like it's just committed treason. Mabel's sulking because her alien's done a runner. Bert's clutching his rock like it's the last life vest on the Titanic. And Timmy? Well, Timmy's just happy there's more cake for him. Meanwhile, Emmett pops up in the bloody Arctic. He's shivering like a naked polar bear and he's got a mouth full of banana cake. He's like, what the flipping heck just happened? And then it hits him. The tea, the cake, they must have reacted with his quantum state, or some bollocks like that. Back at the tea party, the Quantum Regulatory Agency turns up. They're looking around like they've just walked into a bad acid trip. Harold's trying to explain, but he's not making much sense. He was here 1 minute, gone the next. I swear it's the tea, it's always the tea. The agents, they're not buying it. They're about to haul Harold off for questioning when, pop, Emmett reappears. He's got icicles dangling off his nose and he's still got a mouthful of cake. He looks around, swallows and goes, "All right, I can explain." And explain he does. Turns out, Harold's tea and Mabel's banana cake are the perfect quantum catalysts. Who'd have thought it, eh? So the Quantum Regulatory Agency, they're scratching their heads, trying to figure out how to write this one up in their report. In the end, they decide to leave Emmett with the Intergalactic Tea Society. Reckon it's the safest place for him, what with the tea and cake keeping him grounded. Literally. And the moral of the story? Well, I reckon it's something like, if you're going to fiddle with the space-time continuum, make sure you've got a good cuppa and a slice of cake to hand. Oh, and maybe, just maybe, don't piss off the Quantum Regulatory Agency. They're a right bunch of killjoys. And that, my friends, is the tale of Emmett Quark and the Intergalactic Tea Society. It's a bloody miracle any of them are still standing. But hey, that's quantum mechanics for you. Now who's for a cuppa?